So this all began a certain night after I had quite a long day, and it got back, and my mind and my body were in 1,000 places. And I thought to pray as I usually do, so I got on my feet, and starting was quite a hassle. And my mind was in 1,000 places, my body was everywhere, and sort of like in a prayer, I just had these words cross my mind, and that was the actual feeling I had inside, and the words were just falling out. I said, when my body breaks in 1,000 pieces, put me back again. When my heart is weary and tired, God, would you come rescuing from the fire and the cold and many troubles that unfold? Would you keep my eyes on you? Would you keep my eyes on you? And I just kept singing that over and over because that was just what was playing all through my mind that night. And so when my body breaks in 1,000 pieces, put me back again. When my heart is weary and tired, God, would you come rescuing from the fire and the cold and many troubles that unfold? God, would you keep my eyes on you? Would you keep my eyes on you? That last line almost had me saying, God, I'll keep my eyes on you, but the words that were in my heart were the fact that even the desire to keep my heart on you, sometimes I don't have that. And God, please, when my body is broken and when my mind is all over the place, would you help me? Beyond my desire, let your strength be the enablement to keep my eyes on you. And as I just kept singing that and going over and over that again, because basically it was just a song that spoke of where I was in the moment and how so much I needed the help of God. But in his usual funny way, I just heard that voice in my heart that said, do you know that first line in this thing you sing tells me about Humpty Dumpty? And I was like, what? And then it clicked in my mind that, yeah, Humpty Dumpty had a great fall, and then he was broken in 1,000 pieces, and all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. And I was like, yeah, so maybe Humpty Dumpty is kind of like me, but it really did not click because, I mean, Humpty Dumpty's story was that he fell, right, and he broke in 1,000 pieces, and sort of it spiraled into an entirely different thought that I did not even plan that night. And Lord was sort of like, do you want to hear my story about Humpty Dumpty? And I was like, what? I said, yeah, I think I like that. So I just kept singing over and over again, and slowly but steadily the story just started trickling into my mind. And when my body breaks in 1,000 pieces, put me back again. When my heart is weary and tired, just then I'll come rescuing from the fire and the cold, and many troubles that unfold. God, would you keep my eyes on you? Would you keep my eyes on you? And somewhere in my mind, he just said, to me, that's the song of my Humpty Dumpty. And he said, what were you told about Humpty Dumpty? And I said, he sat on a wall, he fell, and the king's horses and the king's men tried all they could, but they just couldn't put him back together again. And almost in a funny way, I never sought out to start out to write a song about Humpty Dumpty, but he just said to me, can you guess why my Humpty was sitting on the wall? And I was like, I have no idea. He told me a story about it and how in his mind, what he was trying to get to me was speaking to me about the life of the prophets using the ideology of Humpty Dumpty and what we know about that story. And he said to me, I called Humpty Dumpty up the wall to come see something. Because Humpty lived in a culture, Humpty lived in a dispensation where everything was tradition and religion and everything the hands of men had built and what they were familiar with. But I saw something in Humpty and I called him up the wall that, come see what I'm doing. Come see what's beyond you. Come see what's beyond all the structures you've built. So I called Humpty up the wall and he came. And Humpty saw the beauty that was on the other side. And he saw how different from what they were doing, what I showed him was. And Humpty began calling everyone else in the city, come up and see what I'm seeing. Come up and see the beauty. Come up and see the possibilities. Come up. Come up. And slowly the people Humpty called to began to climb the wall and began to see what Humpty was seeing. And then they were ecstatic and all that. Everyone was happy. They were really pleased with the freedom and possibilities they were seeing. This is me getting into the story already. And then the king's men and the king himself, because they were the leaders of that culture and the leader of that system. So they got up the wall to see this thing that Humpty is seeing, and on seeing the immense power of the possibilities that are on the other side, they knew that if we let this thing go on, everybody's going to jump over the wall and we're going to lose the system that we've built. But we can't just shout to everyone that don't believe Humpty, because they're seeing something that Humpty is showing them. So they pushed Humpty down the wall. And Humpty fell. And Humpty broke in 1,000 pieces. Well, he said, that was the part of the rhyme that nobody ever talked about. They just said Humpty sat on a wall. And then Humpty had a great fall. And all of the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty back together again. So he said to me, the king's attempt and the attempt of his men to put Humpty together back again was just a facade to cover up for the fact that they killed him, and they wanted it to show before the people that they were not exactly against Humpty, but they were. They bloody were. So after killing Humpty, they wrote a song about him to immortalize the memory of a great man. So they sung a song about him, that Humpty that sat on the wall, that great Humpty just suddenly fell, and we did all we could, but sadly we couldn't bring him back. That was the song they thought. That was the song they put out. They immortalized their prophets after killing them. And he just reminded me that this was my cry all through scripture from all of the prophets. I called each and every one of them to deliver the people from the systems and the culture that they had been used to, or they had been kept under by the devices of men. But certain leaders in the people could not stand what I was doing, and they fought against my prophets and they killed them. So the Lord would find him speaking to the Pharisees, and he said, "You bloody brood of vipers, you indeed show that you are children of your fathers. You garnish the sepulchre of your prophets. You killed them. And the fact that you do not receive me now is a testament that indeed you are children of your fathers." They tried to sing that song as well in the day of Peter, but Peter stood before them and said, "With wicked hands you took the Lord and you killed him." You killed him. Don't deny it, you killed him. Don't come now to act as if you're trying to preserve the law of Moses. You never believed him in the first place, because if you had believed Moses, you would have believed the Lord too. We see the man Stephen had the same cry. He says, "You are stiff-necked and hard-hearted as your fathers. They killed every one of the prophets, from the righteous blood of Abel to Zacharias that was slain before the temple." You kill your prophets and then you immortalize their words and say, "Oh, these were the words of the great prophets," but you killed them when they were alive. And you never recognized the hand of God upon them until they were dead, and then you sang songs in memory of them. But the words they spoke, you never once believed in it, because all that they said was in contrary to the things that you had in your heart, to the idols that your hand had built, and the comfort that you found in aversion to all that is of God. So the Lord said, that was the story of my own Humpty. And it just was like, what? And then the next day, words and melody just came to the speakings of God to Humpty and how he called him. And the words, God said, "These were my words to Humpty. These were my words to Humpty when I called him up. And these are my words to you now. And to as many as I will call to be my Humpties in this world. To as many as I would call to be my Humpties." He said, "Humpty, don't you be afraid to climb the mountain. Don't you wanna see just what I got on the other side of your strength and your religion and everything your hands can build? Humpty, you'll be fine, even if they push you down the wall. When your body breaks in 1,000 pieces, I'll put you back again. When your heart is weary and tired, just then I'll come rescuing from the fire and the cold and many troubles that unfold. If you keep your eyes on me, if you keep your eyes on me, Humpty, don't you be afraid to climb the mountain. Don't you wanna see just what I got on the other side of your strength and your religion and everything your hands can build? Humpty, you'll be fine, even if they push you down the wall. 'Cause when your body breaks in 1,000 pieces, I'll put you back again. When your heart is weary and tired, just then I'll come rescuing from the fire and the cold and many troubles that unfold. Would you keep my eyes on you? If you keep my eyes on you. And then the next verse that he opened my mind to was Humpty's response, because Humpty, on going up the wall or going up the mountain, Humpty had concerns. What if I don't get up the mountain? What if I fall down? What if they push me down the wall? So Humpty replied to the Lord, and this is the reply in the sense that is expected of all Humpties and all that the Lord will call to walk with him. It was the statement of the prophet, of the Habakkuk now, in the 2nd chapter. He said, I'll stand on the ramparts to see what you said to me. I'll write the vision laid plain on tablets, that whosoever reads it may run with it. The Lord said that kind of the response I want from my Humpties. So Humpty said, I'll sit here on the mountain, I'll wait to see what you will say to me. Open my heart to hear the words thou come and lead me on. From my strength and my religion and everything my heart can build. Promise me you'll keep my soul if they push me down the wall. When my body breaks in 1,000 pieces, put me back again. When my heart is weary and tired, God, would you come rescuing from the fire and the cold and many troubles that unfold? Would you keep my eyes on you? Would you keep my eyes on you? God, would you keep my eyes on you? The Lord just spoke to my heart a consolation that He has for all His Humpties and for all that would step beyond their fears to walk with Him, for all that will step beyond their fears to come up the wall, to come up the mountain, to see what He will say to them. It's just the very same words of hope that He gave to the apostles, that I'm the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me, though he may die, he shall live. And he who lives and believes in me shall never die. Do you believe this? And he spoke to the Apostle Peter as to the afterlife. He says, to as many who have forsaken mother, brothers, sisters, and followed me, in the world thereafter I would give 1,000 in multiplication of this. Brothers, sisters, and life eternal. So even in death there is a hope for all the Humpties of God. Even in death there is a hope for all the Humpties of God. So for Humpties, death is never the end, because there's a promise of the King to put us back together again. So he said, you know what was said about Humpty, that all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again? I said that was because they were men. But mere men. But Humpty looked to this now, I would put you back together again. And then this line in song just came to heart as a remembrance of that. It says, all the king's horses and all the king's men, I know they'll put me back together again. All the king's horses and all the king's men, I know they'll put me back. They'll put me back. Oh, when my body breaks in 1,000 pieces, you put me back again. When my heart is weary and tired, I know you come rescuing from the fire and the cold and many troubles that unfold. Know you keep my eyes on you. I know you keep my eyes on you. When my body breaks in 1,000 pieces, put me back again. When my heart is weary and tired, I know you come rescuing from the fire and the cold, many troubles that unfold. I know you keep my eyes on you. I know you keep my eyes on you. And as this melody just played in my mind, the Lord took my heart through all of the prophets, from Abraham to Noah to Moses to David to Joshua to Isaiah to Micah, to each and every one of them, Jeremiah, Daniel, Ezekiel. He says, which of them did I leave alone? Which of them did I not fulfill my words to them? Which of them will I not put together again? Which of them? So the Lord spoke to his apostles. He says, don't fear them who can kill the body alone. Nah, don't fear those ones. The king's horses and the king's men that are but flesh, don't fear them. Rather fear him. Rather fear him who is able to destroy both flesh, spirit and soul in hell. And it was pretty much a comfort to see that the eyes of the Lord is on all of his Humpties, to keep every word that he has spoken to them. Though his promises to them may tarry, and though their flesh may break down this evil world, yet his words to them never failed. Though they didn't live to see it to the end, the faithful God kept every single promise to them. So the promise of God to our fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to redeem them and to bring them into his family, he fulfilled. And that's the hope he's giving to each and every Humpty of him in the now. Don't be afraid. I'll keep every promise to you. Though your body breaks into 1,000, into 1,000,000 pieces in this evil world, I'll put you back together again. So though your body breaks in 1,000 pieces, I'll put you back again. And when your heart is weary and tired, I'll come rescuing from the fire and the cold, and many troubles that unfold. If you keep your eyes on me, if you keep your eyes on me,